Greetings, family. Wake Up Hebrews coming to you with another video. We hope all is well with you and your families. We just want to do a quick, short video today. A lot of stink have been going on since Kanye and Kyrie have made the statements that they made. But today I just want to briefly talk about a subject at hand. I want to talk about the misinformation in our history. Misinformation in our history. You know, it's been a lot that have been hidden from a lot of our people, and I'm going to share a little bit with you from the other side, some of the ones that we sometimes feel like they're our counterpart, but we've got a few people, a few Gentiles that are in our corner that are sharing the story. And I was just, brought back to this book, Babylon to Timbuktu, from Babylon to Timbuktu. And, it's a lot of a wealth of information in this book. And it's a pastor by the name of Matthew Rowland, I think his name is, that was sharing some of the information in the book. And it brought my mind and my attention to the scripture that is found in Psalms. And the scripture goes like, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. That's the scripture that brought to my mind that when I was listening at some of the clips from this pastor. And I'm going to share a couple of clips with you from his teaching that really should be coming from our pulpits because it's biblically based. Sometimes people don't understand the reason why we focus on this topic about Hebrews and waking up Hebrews and the different things that have happened through us down through the years. And the hiding of our identity and why people kind of get nervous when we start talking about it. It's biblical. This is something that the Bible has stated, and it's coming forth now since the 400 years have passed. Look like everything has really been unleashed and everything is coming to the surface concerning who we are. And I'm going to share a clip from this pastor that, he brought a lot of strong points out. And it was very, very enlightening to me, but he was just simply reading from the book that I show you. This book right here, he was simply reading from this book and kind of elaborating on some of the same topics and subjects that we have been elaborating on for years. And, we've been dealing with this topic for years, and we're trying to get our people to understand that it's biblical, that we're written in the Bible, in history, and the portion that it was really important to our existence and important to us knowing who we are was taken out and hidden from us in secular history. So I'm going to just share some things with you, some topics with you from this pastor, his concept and his teaching, and I hope you can get something out of it like I did, because it really kind of raised my eyebrows on some of his teaching, because it sounds similar to our message, the Hebrews, the ones that are awakened. It sounds similar to what we've been trying to convey to our people for the length of time. And this book, it's not just something that just happened overnight, but it's been out for a while. And a lot of our people don't even know about the book. I would like to encourage you to try to buy a copy. It's called From Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. It's on Amazon. You can get it and purchase from that, just for your educational purposes. But let's go into the clip that I was speaking of, and let's share that with you. Check it out.
So, just to recap before we go further, because I don't want you to be confused, because it's of utmost importance. The real Shemites, the Fehalim, the rural farmers found in the land of Israel at the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century. What we call today the Palestinian Christians, Palestinians, and other anti-Zionist, non-Ashkenazi, Torah-keeping Jews worldwide, just like the Yemenite Jews. And two, the real Shemites, the royal, regal, Negro nomads, exiled from the kingdom of Judah, African Shemites who were taken away in slave ships, Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, by the synagogue of Satan, the Caucasian, white Ashkenazi Jews in the 17th and 18th century. Because Ashkenazi slaving, the history of it is outrageous. Let me read something to you. This is from the Ashkenazi Jew. He's a scholar, Jonathan Shoresh, and he says this. Jewish merchants routinely possessed enormous numbers of slaves temporarily before selling them off. If a slave auction fell on a Jewish holiday, it was postponed due to a lack of buyers and sellers. The Jews of Suriname gave their slave plantations Hebrew names, such as Machanaim, Nachamu, and Goshen. Rabbi Herbert Bloom adds that the slave trade was one of the most important Jewish activities. One of the most important Ashkenazi Jewish activities. In 1694, Jews owned 9,000 regal African nomadic Jews from the house of Judah. In 1694, they owned 9,000 enslaved from the house of Judah. Jewish slaving is confirmed in the Jewish Encyclopedia. But you start talking about it, again, you're digging into historical truth, not sacred history. So why does the American Black history exist solely for the past 400 years, beginning in the 17th century? And all you hear about is, well, the transatlantic slave trade. But there's so much more than the transatlantic slave trade. You've got to go further back. I want to quote to you from Babylon to Timbuktu. It's a book by Rudolph R. Windsor. This is page 84. Quote, in the year 65 before the Common Era, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 of the Common Era, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Page 86. Many Jews fled to those parts of northwest Africa known as Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, and Mauritania. Many other Jews fled to areas where Rome didn't have any jurisdiction. This was the region to the south, the Sahara Desert and the Sudan. You see, in the 1930s, it was an established fact that the regal class of Negro nomads exiled from the kingdom of Judah, that they resided in Songhai, in Mali, in Ghana, in Kenem, in Bornu, in the empire, and within the Onadu forest of Dahomey south of Timbuktu. Communities complete with Aramaic Torah scrolls. On page 90, from Babylon to Timbuktu, it says this. The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. Now, this is going to tell you why the native indigenous black Africans worked with Islam to trap the house of Judah and sell them to the Ashkenazi ship owners that were also Portuguese and British Ashkenazi ship owners. And that's the history we want to see. Why did this happen? Page 90. The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried their culture, they carried their history, laws, and written records with them. This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autochthonous population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths. There were leather workers, potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths, agriculturists. Do you think the indigenous blacks resented the regal, Negro, nomadic class of the House of Judah? And do you think they wanted to get paid by Islam? And do you think Islam wanted to get paid by the Ashkenazi Jewish ship merchants? And then you get to your transatlantic slave movement. But don't start at the ships on the west coast of Africa. That's all you're going to get in your democratic American public re-education system. And it just troubles me. Even blacks in this country aren't educated enough to go further back.
So you see, sometimes it's better for someone else to speak so that some of our counterparts may listen to him. But I know that many of them are angry with this pastor for sharing this information that he's sharing. He's just kind of giving us reinforcement on what we've been saying all the time, and I'm going to just go into that scripture that I started off with in the book of Psalms 83, and we're going to start at verse 3 where it says, "And they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." So this is exactly what he's talking about. The people from Africa work with the Arabs, and they work with the Ashkenazi Jews that owned all the ships, and they all consulted one with another against the hidden ones. So we are the hidden ones. We're still somewhat hidden from the world, and now the cover is being slowly pulled back, and the bones are beginning to rattle and come together by people like Kanye West that has a large voice, and Kyrie and different ones, and myself and a team of all of us that have come together that know and trying to warn our people and trying to awaken our people to who they are is much more powerful and important than what we give it to be. Don't just shrug this off. Don't just act like it's, you don't want to hear it, because this is your history and this is your future. All of it is working hand in hand together. And then the next verse reads, "They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." So this is why our history only starts about 400 years ago, dealing with the transatlantic slave trade, and they kind of hid the past of when we were industrious people and when we were powerful people and had influential background and had all of the laws, statutes, and commandments with us. We had broke them, but we still carried them with us. We have always had people, even sort of like it is today in the Christian. A lot of the Christians, they want to have a portion of what we should be doing and carry on with the paganistic concepts and lifestyles that we learned when we got over in this country. A lot of that has been infused in our people, and we have difficulty severing that from our existence and being. But we got to put all of those things aside so that we can really become fully engrossed with holiness and righteousness. All right, let's continue on. The next scripture says, "For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against us." So these people, they do or die with this whole thing. And the closer we get to everybody knowing who we are, the more violent it's going to get. Right now, it's kind of getting to the place, where they are trying to shut the mouths of people, and just like they're disrupting the lifestyles of these brothers that's got all this money. Is trying to take it away and being accused of anti-Semitic. But we're the Shemite people. We're the Semite people. So we can't be against ourselves by revealing that we have been hidden. We're the hidden ones. That's what is happening. We're being revealed. Okay, the next verse says, "The tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites, which are the Arab slave trade." These people were the first to enslave us. Now they had help from our brothers, the 12 tribes of Israel. They sold Joseph into slavery. I believe I really consider him as being one of the first Hebrews that went into slavery. But that was from the mind of God. He put him in a position that he may preserve the world, that he may be in a position to preserve the 70 patriarchs that came down during the time of the famine. So that was a planned strategy by the Most High. It may be similar to what it is today with us being over here enslaved all this time. We sold ourselves out by not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. We reneged on the covenant that we promised that we would keep, and we ended up over here and all over the world in gross slavery. So it says, "The tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites and Moab and the Hagarenes and Gebal and Ammon and Amalek and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also joined with them, and they have holpen the children of Lot." So we see that a lot of these things that have befallen us were written in the scripture, and it was not able to be stopped, because you cannot stop the word of the Most High. It's a thing that's just got to come to pass. So, a lot of our people have went off into Islam, and this pastor, he kind of hit on that a little bit. I'm going to share that little portion with you, and then we're going to get ready to close. Check it out.
Do you know how many blacks in America have been lost to Islam? It's outrageous. That's not your tribe. Your tribe is Judah. Muhammad's tribe enslaved you. Why would you convert to Muhammad's tribe when you're of King David's tribe? Don't convert to the tribe that enslaved you and then sold you to Ashkenazi ship merchants. More black Negroes have been lost to Islam in the 20th century than any other believing, Bible-believing group. It's outrageous because they don't want you to know who you really are and what tribe you're from, but you're not from Muhammad's tribe. Never were. Never were. You are a regal Negro class from the royal house of Judah.
Now he's voicing some of the same points that I have brought out in times past, down, to some of the videos that I've done in the past. He's pointing out some of the same things. So, it's a shame that we don't know as much as we should know from our pulpits. We're getting taught a lot of, secondhand information. And then when it gets to something that can really reveal who we are and put us back in the position, because we've got to come to ourselves. We got to acknowledge who we are before we can really walk in all of the benefits and walk in all of the blessings that have been stated in the book. So this is the time for us to come together and awaken. And we're not trying to be violent. This is not a violent awakening. The only person that's going to be violent, according to my conception, is the people against the Most High's children. They're the ones that's violent. They're the ones that's doing all the things that are detrimental to the whole world. So we're only trying to wake our people up, and once enough of us wake up, then the Most High, He's going to turn His attention to us, and we'll be on the road to being reinstated back to our original type and figure of who we are. So, people of God, let us gird up the loins of our mind, and let us get ourselves in a position to where, we can be blessed. That's how the Most High designed it. He wanted us to be a blessed people. He wanted us to be cut above. We should be the head and not the tail. And a lot of the people in the world, they don't like that. But if the Most High designated it to be, then who are we to refute what He have designed? So I just wanted to do a quick video and share that information with you, and share a few of those scriptures with you. And don't forget that the misinformation that's being given against our history, we got to understand and know that it's not all of our history. That's only a portion. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulting against thy hidden ones. So we just going to call it a day right here, and we're getting ready to let you go. And we appreciate you for all of your time that you have come together with us. Shalom.